When I went to college, I thought I should take journalism. I didn't clearly define what it was about journalism that I could specialize in, but I did think sports would be the thing to do. And when I graduated in 1953, I came to New York and I got a job as a copy boy in the New York Times. And when I finally got on the staff after an interim period, a trainee, an intern, a flunky, which is what I was, I got to cover all sports, but I didn't really want to cover the game, whether it's a football game or a basketball game or a baseball game. I wanted to write character sketches of the people who performed. And not only the people who performed, but the people who were around the edge of the arena. For example, when I went to a prize fight, I would like to interview the fighters, and I got to know the fighters. That's true, and I wrote profiles of the fighters. It might be Floyd Patterson in those days, or Jose Torres was a great middleweight fighter. Later, Muhammad Ali, I got to know him and wrote about him, Sonny Liston. But I was equally interested in some of the characters that hung around the ring. For example, in the ring, for example, there was a guy named George, I think his name is George Backer, and his job was ringing the bell. He'd sit in Madison Square Garden, the old Madison Square Garden, the new Madison Square Garden, ringing the bell between the rounds, just ringing the bell. I went through life ringing the bell. And I thought, what an interesting way to have a living. What a career. How does this guy stand it? So I wrote this whole profile on this guy who kept time between the rounds and rang the bell. I also wrote about cut men, the guys who would fix up the battered eyes and noses of fighters. All those, baseball, I'd write about the guys that cut the grass. I mean, the groundskeepers and the head groundskeepers. I wrote about a dentist once who catered to hockey players. Hockey players would lose their teeth. And they had to have they had mouthpieces. And I wrote about the guy who made the dentures, the dentist for the hockey team, the New York Rangers. So these are odd characters, but I thought they're really interesting. And as an interested person, I would look for that kind of story.